Hi, everyone. Kelly here. Today, I have Mengyu from Moderato Piano Academy. And Mengyu and I are going to be discussing how she added 20 new students and $3,000 a monthly revenue in under 3 months to her studio. But before I jump into any more of that, I would love to start with this. Mengyu, could you quickly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your studio?
Yes, for sure. Hello, everyone. Okay, so I'm the owner of Moderato Piano Academy, and I have been learning the piano for more than around 15 years to now. And my studio started at I guess, the first month of this year, and I met Kelly on the Facebook, and I never thought I can grow up my business. To around like 20, even more than 20 students now. So that's a big move for me.
That's awesome. I know things have moved really, really quickly for you. You've worked so hard on this, which is so exciting. I want to back up to when we first started working together. Who is your ideal student? Who do you enjoy working with the most, and who are you hoping to add to the studio?
Uh, Actually, I hadn't think that before I met you because I just think, okay, I need to get more new students. I need to get more new students, and I didn't think about the goal for what kind of specific range or level of students I hope I can get or I should get. Because to be honest, I'm a concert pianist, and I can think I myself can handle all of the levels and all of the ages of the students. But something happens is making me a big stress around, oh my gosh, what kind of this kind of age I cannot handle it, but I
Mm,
still, yes.
yeah. So a lot of students were coming to you that you would say, maybe say yes to everyone, but not
Right.
everyone you actually enjoyed working with or you felt like it was a good fit.
That was type of me before.
And it's common. This is a really common issue for a lot of musicians and studio owners is that we say yes to everyone because we want our business to grow and succeed. But if it's not the right fit, both parties aren't as happy as they could be. So I'm glad that things have improved for you since then. Now, what do you feel? I know that you talked a little bit about your background and you're a fantastic pianist and so skilled in teaching. What do you feel makes your studio unique?
Well, the first very important thing for me is, oh, I, actually, what the number one is because my own the personalities, and I'm very easy. I can be very easy to adopt different type of students. So that's why, like what I said, that's a good thing, but also a bad effect for me at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And that's the first thing. And the number two is because right now I'm also had a piano performance and pedagogy, the major, the degree at the same time. So that means I know how to perform, but I also know how to teach based on different curriculums and different levels. So that would be the number two. And the last one would be my passion on teaching. I love teaching, but yes, still the way to figure out maybe become more professional and be more wonderful teacher in the world.
Absolutely. And that's a lot of what I know we had kind of worked on was because you have so much passion, making sure that we also had the business squared away, right? We were organized in that sense too, so that the passion that we had for our teaching was also equaled by the passion that we had for keeping things organized and structured for our students so they could succeed. You've done
Mm-hmm.
a great job with that.
Thank you.
Now, backing up even further, before you and I met, what were you doing? What was the studio? What was that structure? How many students did you have?
Before that, I actually before I studied this studio, I taught around 4 years because my degree requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And after since I studied my study, I only get around not more than 8 students,
Mm.
and some of them actually sometimes they are always asking about maybe excuse leave or they are going a vacation, so always last minute notice. So that's really terrible for
Yeah.
actually for a first startup the studio teacher, right? And the my salary also compensation also depends actually really rely on the students instead of, and also before I haven't set up my own the study policy. That's really one more important part I learned from Kelly.
So because we didn't have a policy in place and people were canceling all the time, your income was inconsistent. What were some frustrations aside from the fact that the money wasn't always the same every month? What were some other frustrations that you had in running your own studio?
Mm, some other reasons. Okay, well, I'm very afraid to always email and then to ask parents to get paid for the invoice and so on. So I'm afraid and also get frustrated to get contact with the parents because sometimes they have different parents here. So yeah, I'm not that very good communicative to be between the parents, and also when the time is you need to asking them for payment, and it's also that time make me a little bit frustrations at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So just handling the business end of things was
Mm-hmm.
not something we were excited about. It was a little scary if you had to follow up with someone. Or I remember one of the first stories you told me was you had someone that came by for a trial
All right.
and you thought that they might be interested, but you had emailed them to follow up. And one time before we had started working together, someone emailed you back and said, please stop contacting me. We're no longer interested, and
All
got mad at you, right?
right. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was traumatizing. And Meng, you had to work so hard to get over that because, I mean, it was a bad experience. That person was very rude to you. And I think you were afraid a little bit, right, to follow up with people after that because you didn't want to upset them.
Yes, that make me a little bit thinking,
Oh,
oh, what's going on with me? What's something wrong with me? Should I adjust something on myself, or did I do something wrong to make you be mad at me, or so on?
mm,
Yeah, actually, I just be very kind to follow up, and I think because he just mentioned the student mentioned he wanted the lesson, but he said after the last call I gave to him because he didn't. Respond to me anymore. So I just say, okay, what's going on, and do you want to schedule trial lesson or so on with me? And I need to. I really wanted to help you to working on the schedule and so on. And he just said, why I always keep like
yeah.
be mad at that. So so I don't
It's
know what.
gotten better, right? We haven't had any of those recently. Do you
Yeah.
feel more confident now when you go to follow up with someone after a trial lesson or go to send a follow up email? Do you
Yes.
still feel as scared, or does it feel more comfortable now?
I feel more comfortable now and more confident in me now. Even every time when the parents come to the free trial lesson, in my mind there is always not always there is already a kind of preparation or
Mhm.
example how to go through that with the parents together, and also to talk to parents be more confidently. And yes,
Good,
thank
good. I'm so glad that that's been a good change for you. And it's been fun to see your confidence grow and to see that willingness to follow up and to reach back out and to, kind of just bug people a little bit more, right? Stay on top of things and stay organized in that way. I mean, it's part of why your studio grew so fast is you are following up and you are making sure that you're keeping organized, which is fantastic. So when we first met, I know you mentioned earlier we met through Facebook.
you. Okay.
What piqued your interest? Why were you interested in having a conversation with me about your studio?
Mm, that's a good question though. So, well, first of all, I read all of read the post they posted on the Facebook group, and I was thinking about, wow, that's really attractive to me. How a person, how a teacher can grow up a studio like in this amount and this huge, very quickly, so quickly, and also at the same time, yeah, I never thought that can be a very well organized, and also
Mm,
something can be very logical in business. The management for the studio. So, and I was reading through the message. The how to say the reading you sent on the Facebook group, and I think there is something really be interested on that, and also there is something. It's not something like you just make it very oh my god, make it fantastic on the message, but it has something like I can follow and also has some logic to be there. So I think I should try it, right? Yeah, you
wonderful.
can never try it, how never going, I never know what's going on in the future, and just give it a try.
Awesome. Awesome. And when we started working together too, I know it happened pretty quickly, right? From the time that we started talking to the time that we formally
Mm-hmm.
launched our program together and working on your studio. It's been just under 3 months since we met. We're not quite at that 3 month mark yet, but aside from adding over 20 students. And aside from adding almost $3,000 in revenue, what are some other results that you've seen in your studio? What are other results have you seen personally in your business? What's been improving for you?
Hmm. Okay, that's a long story. You want to listen it?
Ready when you are.
So first of all, for my students, some of them they really feel about the change around me. So let me think about that. Okay, so I got one student who learned with me before 1 year ago, and he moved out of town. And finally, this year he moved back again, and he just messaged me about like mail to me about, oh, hi teacher, I'm really enjoyed the lessons with you before, and I already come back to Arizona, and I really wanted to schedule another lesson with you together. And after our lessons, and we've been talking about like what's going on happen around here, and he said, wow, you it seems like your business grows so fast and it grows in like in a good trend here. So I'm saying yes, everything is great. And also he knows I have some student policy because say he was saying himself is a student who is not really unreliable. He just recognized it and he says, I'm so sorry before. I'm always asking for cancellations and I'm always going on vacation and so on. And right now he is saying, oh, it's a great for like for both of us and also for a great healthy, like the teacher and student, the kind of studio development and relationship, so on.
So do you
Yeah.
feel that your relationship with the students and their parents has improved because you've implemented the policies?
Yes, a lot. Definitely. They are very glad to see that. When first time I just sent email them, I mean the old student I have before, almost 100 of them, they are very happy to see I have a new policy, be solid here, and they can follow it. And also the meantime, the invoice they can pay to me and make everything easier, and they don't need to remember, and also me also don't doesn't need to always like tap in and then give them a report on that, so on.
Doesn't it feel less stressful and less embarrassing when we have to reach out only one time with the actual invoice and people pay it versus like, hey, can you pay me? Hey, you haven't paid me. Hey, can
Oh
I have my
no,
money? Like,
that's
oh, I feel so awkward. It's
understandable. Yeah.
these are hard conversations to have. So when we have some of that automation in place and we've got the structure that we implemented, people people think they like freedom, right? But what they actually like, and you're hearing it in your own studio, is they like an organized structure that they can just follow the rules and they can follow the steps and they don't even have to think about it.
All
It
right.
makes the studio so much easier to run and less stressful.
Mhm.
Do you think you're spending less time on some of the administration now than you were before?
Yes.
Good, good. Even with more students, you're spending less time?
Actually, yes, it is.
Awesome. That's great to hear. That's wonderful. I
Mhm.
know we've implemented a lot of tools to make that happen, but do you feel that your communication style has improved and is that impacting the time that we're spending on parent conversations and communication too?
Yes, definitely, for sure.
What are some things that you think have improved in your communication?
Well, so first of all, from before, in my opinion, I was thinking myself is really starting from thinking from the parents' point of view before. But some of them they cannot. I mean, they just thought it wasn't. So I'm thinking I'm kind for them, but they are thinking, no, I'm not good. I mean, I'm not a good person, or I'm not in really thinking from their point of view. So that
Mm,
was before, but right now, after like we're getting a much more stronger like communication, the skills throughout here. After like we started to working on something together, and also myself think about set up a mindset again, and also make myself like be more stronger the communication
mm,
skills. And then sometimes, especially when the parents would like to, for instance, cancellations, follow up, and reschedule, and so on. That has been totally different than before.
good, good, good.
And when I saw their message sent to me, and I was shaking. No, I'm really, I definitely, I'm a good teacher to teaching, but I'm not really good at like communications with parents, and afraid of that.
Well, it's something we do not learn in music school, right? We
That's
learn, especially as a piano pedagogue, you know how to teach very, very well,
correct.
but they don't teach us how to run the business of teaching, and that's
Yeah,
tough.
you remind me one thing. Yes. Oh yeah. So I work for school as well. you remind me also. Do you remember last time the students when I drive to school to teach and she didn't show up and for around 3 to 4 times, and she didn't reply back. I mean, she didn't even send email back to me and let me know ahead of time if she doesn't show up.
I remember that. That was really, really early when we were still working together, or when we first started working together, and you were still with the school. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how do I handle this? I was like, well, what's the school's policy? They're like, I don't think they have policies either.
That's what you when you mentioned about the school never taught you about the lesson about that, taught you a course about that. That remind me the case I met before, and also there is another case also very make me oh no. So since they don't have really great student policy, because I don't even heard of that, and some of the parents they just made it very very big like freedom around the lessons and also themselves, so they just put priority a lot
Mm,
instead of the lessons, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
They just put other things in front of it and just don't show up or forget or
so at that time I have a big frustration like period before I met with Kelly, but right now everything's being more, I mean, smooth and resolved a lot of the problems.
good. I'm so glad to hear that. And a couple of things that we worked on too, I know were brief emails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the communication a little bit shorter so it was very clear. Because sometimes when we have longer emails, it leaves room for miscommunication because we over explain things. Another thing that we worked on was making sure that we have a strict set of studio policies so that when someone does need to cancel, you've got the strict policy, but then in practice, you can say, I totally understand that you're sick today. Why don't we look at seeing if I can fit you in for a makeup lesson later this week? I can't guarantee it, but if I have availability, I'm happy to do that. And because there's this strict studio policy and you're being generous, it makes you look better, right? It is better customer service and it strengthens that relationship with that family too. So good changes, really good changes. So outside of the studio, because things have grown and expanded and everything is going so well, how has it impacted your life outside of just the business?
Save a lot of time and myself becoming more like can all just not get stuck on how to deal the studio issue. I mean the studio no issues and think about how to deal with the parents and the communications and so on. I can pay more attention or pay more time to look up to how to make my teaching philosophy and how to develop my teaching curriculums and also develop my own skills like to be a better teacher. And the meantime, let me think about that. Have another example, which is I was told by my friend. My friend said, "Wow, I can see a lot of difference since like last time we've been together and to now. You're talking and also the email and your thinking, your mind. I mean the thoughts and so on being more happens a lot. I mean, be a very huge difference here."
You have so much more confidence now. And that's been so exciting to watch that development in such a short period of time. I mean, when we first met, I think a lot of times you would come to me with a problem or a question. I would say, well, I don't know what to do. Now you come to me with a question, you say, this is what I think I should do. Do you agree? You're a lot more decisive and clear. And that's really, really good to see you develop in that skill.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mengyu, when we started working together, why did you decide to start working with me?
Well, first of all, because you're very patient to me. I mean, the talk, we gave a call right at the first time, and we like just consulted about the situation, and you asked me several questions, what's going on, and yeah. But most thing make me a big move is thought the strategies and also your thoughts, suggestions given to me. Even though if we're not going together, I mean, if we are not in a group in the
Mhm.
future, but you still have some strength and also the very well the how to say the great strategies and great solutions on that point. So that's make me thinking, should I move, take a bigger move? Okay, give me one moment. I need to take around maybe several days to think about that. Yes.
Well, in the end, we obviously did decide to work together. Would you recommend to other people that they work with me? And if so, who do you think this is a good fit for?
Okay. Definitely, yes, 100%. I'll already start to thinking to recommend you, right? Yes.
That's true. Yeah, you have sent a few people my way, which I appreciate.
Okay, so first of all, I think all of the music colleagues I would recommend to everyone because I was seeing a lot of, also including me, we are good at like academic, but not very good at how to put that into like business or entrepreneurship and so on. And especially when you're into something like making a big studio or making a piano academy and so on.
Wonderful. I really
And
appreciate that.
yes,
Thank
and
you
also
so
maybe
much.
some. Oh, thank you so much for all of your support.
It has been so much fun working together. I'm so thankful for our time. And I appreciate you sitting down and doing this interview and sharing your story with everyone today. If people want to find out more about you online, how can they find you on the internet?
Oh,
You have a
so
website.
yes, I have a website. Yes.
Okay. And what is that website?
Do I need to say the URL out?
It's Moderato Piano Academy, correct?
Yes,
.com.
Moderato. Mhm.
Okay, moderatopianoacademy.com. And I can put that too in any post that I do if people are interested, or I'm happy to share that link. You're also on Facebook. Do you
Mhm.
have a Facebook page for your
Yes,
academy too? Perfect. And that's just under Moderato Piano Academy also. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to Mengyu. She's a fantastic pedagogue and a fantastic resource. She's even shared some ideas that I've used with my own students, which I really appreciate. So thank you for sharing your ideas and your wisdom. Final question. If someone is watching this right now and they're kind of on the fence, they're not sure if they should either start a studio or they're not sure if they should reach out to me for help starting their studio, why should they take action today instead of waiting?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, I would say because after I work with you together and I'm becoming more before my husband saying to me like your personality and also your path to move is becoming from slow to fast. So now I want to just give a big shout out. Just if you want to do it, the business, just do it right away. Don't wait for it because right now I'm recognized before I met Kelly, and I think around maybe 7 days, and I thought that during that time it's already been a long time because you can take a lot of moves during that 7 days. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. And now even my friends is asking me how did you do the website things and how did you like to reach out to the students or so on? How many days it takes you? And I'm just saying, okay, if you want to do that, just doing it right away. Don't
Yep.
wait.
Yep, absolutely. Taking the first step is important. But
Mm-hmm.
from Mungyu's lead, the momentum is so quick, and once you get started, it doesn't stop. So you still, I think you have 2 trial lessons today.
Yes.
Yep. Oh,
Um,
that's awesome. I am so glad that things are going well for you. Thank you so much again for your time and for sharing. I really appreciate it. I will see you a little bit later this week too, as well. But anyone that's watching, thanks for tuning in and have a good rest of your day. Thanks.
Kelly.